So I was just remembering, because I was saying in the last video how when I was having a lot of attacks, especially like witchcraft attacks being sent to me, especially like last year and the years before, but especially last year, I kept having these kind of recurrent dreams of being either monitored by dogs or dogs trying to enter my house and attack my cats, or dogs just in the area where I was with my cats trying to attack them. Okay. And this is like recurring, this theme of dogs, dogs, dogs. I would be walking in the street. Once I see that the dream was like taking place at night, I already in the dream already instinctively knew that something was up. Anytime I dream at night, it's not a good thing. And they were like Rottweiler, not Rottweilers, Doberman Pinschers, like sitting like in a kind of like, yeah, like sitting position, like three in the middle of like a dark road, probably waiting for me to pass by. And then I would see a cat. Every time I saw a cat in the dream, the cats were like warnings that there was like a danger nearby. It was like all really interesting, right? This video, like, actually, I want to talk about that, and I also really wanted to talk about the aspect of homosexuality, right? So a lot of people don't know, like, when I was like at least like definitely by like 15, 16, I used to like honestly say that I was bi, and I had like a couple like relationships here and there, right? So now that I'm older and everything like that, like definitely, as of recently, I haven't done anything of that nature. And if you ask me like why, I don't think it's like the typical reason that a lot of like people who are Christian would give because they repented or they gave their life to Christ. I didn't necessarily like, I personally, like, if you were to ask me like, hey, what advice would you give someone who felt that they were gay? Do you think that they're going to hell? Do you think they're going to heaven? Like, I mean, based on scripture, I don't think that obviously what you're doing is correct, obviously. But even more importantly, okay, one, I already said I'm celibate, so I'm not going to be with anybody. But that whole thing of like that desire, you're right, to be with people of like the same, sex and all of that completely dissipated in general, um as I changed my prayer life. So when I was being attacked in the dreams, what's important is, and this is why I wanted to mention it. I'm so sorry, my kid turned off the light. So, and they're just like, you're listening to this, but it's okay because I don't hide any of this stuff. But anyways, um, what's really important is when I was being attacked in a dream, as I was praying, as I was fasting, I noticed that in the dreams itself, whatever was trying to find me or chase me or bite me, it was as if it could sense that I was there, but it couldn't see me. Eventually in the dreams, like, it was as if like it knew I was around, but it was like it couldn't see me, as if there was some kind of covering on me. And I even remember there was like one dream in particular, like I was talking in the dream saying something, and the dream characters around me started going like this, like telling me to shut up. And then I heard like a yelling from the distance, like a woman was coming. And then this woman came, and she came, and then it's like she stood like really close to me to see, like, it's as if like she could sense my presence, but she couldn't see me. And why is this significant? Because later on in other dreams, this similar woman, right, in other dreams was trying to tempt me, right? Putting herself in very provocative positions, basically with her legs. This isn't a dream, eh? Both of her legs around her neck, and like her private area exposed, and like touching herself. And it was being done to kind of like provoke me, and it didn't have any effect. In another dream, and this is why I really believe that a lot of these sensations are either misguided affections for people, right? Because sometimes I think sometimes it comes from a place of loneliness, or you really care about someone. And then the other part is, I think that they are marine attachments, because that one in that dream was, she made me sit on her lap. When I looked at the woman, her eyes, there was no white in her eyes, it was all black. That was a straight up demon. Her hair was up to here, pale skin, not white, not like Caucasian. No, pale, like as if you're grayish, like you've been dead about in the bottom of the ocean, kind of pale. And she stared at me, And then she was trying to touch me in my private area down there, but I wasn't feeling anything. So I wasn't being stimulated. And then um, in other occasions, like I said, I had a lot of situations and dreams. Like those are just some of the kind of like sexual dreams that I had that led me to see like things were being thrown at me, any kind of temptation whatsoever to partake in the dream, and then I guess to try to lure me into that, to the natural. But I noticed also that when I started praying, and I saw another video about a woman who spoke about this, that every time that she was going to go to an interview, she would have a dream that she was having intercourse in the dream, and she would not get the job position because you have spirit spouses that go around in the dream trying to wreck your future and your destiny and all that. And I would have these kind of dreams as well, where men would just come up and try to do things with me. When I started praying and fasting, I don't know if they tried to like, shoot the, I don't know how we're gonna say that on TikTok, but they try to shoot their shot in the dream. And it's as if like something happened because I would see their reaction. It was like repelled. Like whatever they were trying to do to me, it was as if now it was repelling them, and then they were even afraid to have any kind of relationship with me in the dream, because it was usually being done kind of like maybe to defile me, basically. You know what I mean? So these were all kinds of dreams that I was having while I was being sent witchcraft and all of this. So these dreams are very symbolic because you definitely know you shouldn't be eating in dreams, you should not be fornicating in dreams. Um, all of that form covenants, right? And it's very dangerous. But back to the original point about the homosexuality part, I really do feel that, I don't judge anyone for how they feel in their heart, but I definitely feel that either it's misguided love at this point, or that's from marine attachments. And I've written blogs about this, how um, a lot of, especially men, I won't say women, but it could be women, I guess, but men especially, who have been molested tend to also become homosexual. And the reason why they are molested by these parasitics in this matrix is basically to open a doorway for for entities to create these generational curses and to attach these kind of, I feel, marine spirits. So I think that's kind of like why it happens. And when you see um essay being done on boys, especially by people in their own family, um, you know, of course in the real world we just look at it as like, okay, it's perversion, yeah, yeah. But there's something very diabolically spiritual going on behind it. And if you know like MK Ultra and how they do things to, shatter the the personalities of children very young and everything like that. So this is why I'm saying it to you, like all of that is related, I feel, to marine spirit attachments and these kind of rituals and generational kind of like curses that they try to pass down. Um, so in my case, I also felt that when I was proclaiming to be bi and everything like that, it was all, I was from Queens. The girls in the Bronx were really big on that. I don't know what was going on in the water in the Bronx, but that was, it was kind of like trendy. I'm not gonna lie. In the late '90s, 2000s, a lot of girls were saying that. Um, some girls I think also did it more just to find themselves more attractive to guys. Um, I think I did it more out of like a place of also like loneliness, also. Um, just like different reasons, but I feel like I it was never anything that I was like, had the sensation like, oh, I wanted to get married to anybody of the same sex or anything like that. But so that's why I really, at least in my case, that's why I don't judge other people. But in my case, it was never like that. So I feel like it was more towards the lust angle. But yeah, I would never say anybody's going to go to hell per se for something like that. I think that you have to pray, you have to find guidance through Jesus and through God. And I think anyone can also be redeemed from those kind of things.